All right. So I recall where you guys want to go check out the alleyway. You want to go maybe straight to the source? TB said they could only get it from one place. Should we go there first?
The alleyway.
The alleyway.
Right.
Or I gotta stop calling you by
We,
your
we,
real name.
we can't travel to the supposed source of it. The mines are far too far away, and besides, they would be heavily locked down during the festival as they're far too busy exporting the material to the cargo ships.
Okay. Well, Engelbart, we got to go back into that area that you wanted to get out of earlier. You okay going back? You want to stay here?
I believe. Well, if we're heading into the alley, then I'm entirely comfortable with that. So why not?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's make way. We go down the
All
same
right.
corridor again.
Yeah, you backtrack down the same corridor, and pretty quickly you're able to find this dark alleyway. It's like you're in the housing block, so there's like a number of sort of bulkhead doors that are closed. So like a couple of them have lights on, a couple of them have lights off. There's like a couple of like wire-covered grates that are sort of obviously like pseudo speakers or something like that along the walls. You get back to the alleyway, which is just like it's really very narrow. It's like maybe 5 feet wide. So really, these two guys were standing really close together. And you start heading down it. Are you looking for anything in particular? It looks like a pretty normal alley.
I'm just pointing out to the rest of the group where I saw them specifically. And said
Yeah,
that
I would
one-
just start walking in the direction of one of the places he pointed that they headed towards.
Yeah, I saw the one disappear into the shadows this way, and the other one looked at me. And by the time we passed by the alleyway, I did not see where he went.
Right. Is anybody like
I would
Sorry?
like to, bearing in mind, of course, that Samsonite is a mineral that has a tendency of leaving dust particles behind it. I would like to look for evidence that there were dust particles of Samsonite in the area.
Okay, give me a search roll.
I also have tracking, so I'm starting to track if I can the guys
Okay.
left.
All right.
All right, search roll. That's perception, right?
Yes.
And on perception. All right.
Can I also roll to search the area?
Yeah. Let's see. I think search is a basic skill based off perception. So if you don't have the search skill, then you're rolling against half your perception value. Just so you know.
Okay.
So Fricks and Engelbert, give me those rolls, please.
All right. Oh,
Ooh,
well,
nice.
I nailed it. My
Awesome.
perception's 40.
Excellent. All right. Well, Engelbert, you begin walking along and
So
sort of
did TB. Or, I mean,
scanning
Yeah,
the ground.
Rix.
Fricks. And as you walk along, Engelbart, you sort of feel along your Mechanicus implants particles of dust beginning to sort of zing up and attach themselves to your Mechanicus implants. And Fricks, you actually see like a cloud of Samsonite dust fly up off the floor and it's just sort of swarm onto Engelbart.
See, I told you, Engel.
Oh my god.
What's
Well,
up?
I suppose for once in your life you were correct.
I saw what I
Guys.
saw.
A stopped chronometer is right twice per cycle.
Guys,
What's up?
check your Twitter real quick, because someone from the beginning of the show to now redrew djWHEAT's character, only fat.
Wait, only fat.
With the fucking donut at the end of it.
That's pretty.
Look at this too. The guy that did it is
It's pretty good.
hang on.
Oh
This
my
is-
god, can you link it to me? I don't see it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Here, I'll
Wow,
show-
that's extra heretical.
Whoops.
I'm left out.
There
I'm
you
so
go.
sad.
I got you. It's also on the stream right now, so people can see it. But that's
His
pretty good.
mouth too small for donuts.
Remember how I said
Oh
that
my
sustain
God.
was like my hardest thing? Well, I practiced. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Practice sustaining that dietary intake. That's beautiful.
Oh man.
The guy that did it is trying to figure out.
Yeah, he's definitely a personality or something.
No, well, yeah, he's a bassist for a band. Anyways, I'll figure it out.
Joey
Figure it out.
Thunder. Awesome.
Well, cool. Thank
All
you
right.
for the photo, Joey Thunder. I'm sure Wheat appreciates it as well.
It always helps to have an accurate picture of your character. Like it really.
Shout out to that guy. Thank you very much.
My picture is accurate. This is what happens when I do finally make it to the right hand of the Emperor, and all I do is eat and
donuts.
Turn into
with
a
my
beast of
donut
Nurgle, is that what
staff.
happens?
Just
That's what he's working for.
Oh,
Chaos
God.
spawn.
Awesome. So yeah, you managed to find this dust of this Samsonite, and Engelbart, you're trying to like brush it off of your mechanical implements, but it's
Not
slightly
working
magnetic.
So it's kind of sticking to the other bits of me. It's just I give up after a while.
You said
Yeah.
this was the housing area that we're in, right?
Yeah.
Do I notice any of the house lights? Like, are there doors that are opening into this alleyway? of
There's a
houses?
couple sort of back doors, yeah, but the Samsonite is actually going past them. Who was tracking? Was that Jax?
Yeah.
Jax, yeah.
Can you give me the D100 for that?
It's let me see here too, because it's I guess it's just a basic skill, so it's just against it, huh?
Let's
just
see.
a-
I think it's actually an advanced skill, and that would be your perception.
It says intelligence on this.
Oh, is it intelligence? Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it for me, please.
It says it's basic.
Oh, of
28.
course, because you got it as a basic skill because you're an arbitrator.
My intelligence is 34.
Now, do you have it trained?
No, because there's no check mark. I guess you just have the ability to train it, huh?
All right, so then your intelligence for the purpose of the check is halved, so that makes it a 17. So unfortunately, your tracking was not great, but all that means is that you lose the trail of this stuff a couple of times, and then you start finding it again. You track down a side alleyway, and it gets to a dead end with just a monitor of Zarya Theopoia making her speech. You turn around, come back, find the track again.
Okay.
Finally, it ends up. It takes you about 15 or 20 minutes, and it ends up right below a grate in the ceiling, and the track just sort of ends here. And there's no ladder or anything. The ceiling's about 11 feet high.
Well, can we confirm that it was Samsonite?
Well, it does have the
It's attaching
characteristics
to
of Samsonite. It's subtly
Yeah.
magnetic. It appears to be the same composition and weight.
And Engelbart, it shouldn't be out of control, right? So this is our best lead.
There's no reason why we should be finding Samsonite in this alleyway.
All right. What's our
If
next
one,
step?
of, if one of you had chem use, for example, then you could test the metal given the proper materials. But failing that, you're sort of going on hunch.
Okay. None of us have chem use, right? TB, you don't have chem use for any reason?
No, my laboratory's on the ship anyway.
Okay.
the trail ends literally right here.
As
This
far as you
is-
can tell, yeah.
You said there's a grate on the ceiling?
Yeah, you look up and there's like sort of a hatch port with like a big circular hatch.
I take out my las pistol and toss it towards the grate.
All right, you toss it up and it clangs against the grate. Nothing
Yep, and
happens.
then comes
it falls
back
to the
down.
ground. Yep.
Yep. I examine the las pistol for traces of Samsonite.
Ah, very nice. Okay. Yeah, you find some. There's like a soft dust of Samsonite that's encrusted around the tip of the las pistol.
Well, for some reason, there is Samsonite in this air vent.
Well done, Engelbert. As the person who found it, I think you should crawl up there and look more.
I'm going to need a bit of a boost, Eli.
I
He's
look
small
around
enough.
and I look at Jax. It's like, Jax, you can give him that boost.
Is this what we want to do? Want to send him up there? Ferret him out?
I mean,
I'm more comfortable in there than I am with you.
All right, we can send you up there. Come here, little feller.
so do they have to roll for this, or how is this actually going to work?
Well, so Engelbert is really fucking heavy, right? He's got
No,
like a bunch of metal hanging off of
Not
him.
that much. I'm only a technographer. I don't have that many implants, only the basic set. So
You've got all 6 of the Mechanicus implants, right?
yeah, but they're not that heavy. The weight of my actual character is 55 kilos. So
Oh, that doesn't seem too bad. What's your strength, Eli? Jax, sorry. Looks like 39. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no problem. You just boost him straight up. And yeah, you get up there and sort of a fine dust of Samsonite drifts off of the hatch down onto your mecha dendrites.
I don't have any mechadendrites.
God.
Not high enough rank yet, damn it.
On your sockets where your mecha dendrites will eventually go.
Possibly.
Yeah. So yeah, now that you're up there, are you gonna open this hatch?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to try.
All right, you wrench at it, and it seems actually kind of stuck.
Don't really want to take a strength check.
You have some trouble up
Are there any locks, or is it just flat out stuck?
You know, now that you're up here and you can take a closer look at this hatch, you see on the very side of it, there's sort of a thin strip of metal with a couple of raised areas, and one sort of larger raised area. And it looks like they might have at one point had markings on them, but they've been scrubbed off, like filed off with like a nail file.
Okay.
These are obviously buttons that you're looking at.
Yeah, okay. Well, hitting random buttons without the proper sacred unguents and rites doesn't seem like a particularly good idea. I don't know if you guys have got 3 hours to kill, but I'm thinking perhaps the best idea would be that we just blow it open.
I say done.
Can I, what is it made out of? How, like, if I knock on it, how thick does it appear to be?
You seem to think like it's probably an inch or two thick of steel, something like that.
So probably thin enough that a standard Imperial issue frag grenade could blow it open in a confined space.
Yeah, if you could like get it close enough and hold it there until it went off. Yeah.
Okay. That could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
Does anyone have any space duct tape?
No, I'm afraid
Fresh
not.
out. Fresh out.
Fresh out of space duct tape.
Is there anything? Is there anything we could tie something to?
I have 7 spare parts, but I don't think that counts unless there's like some elastic in there or something.
I'll let you determine what those spare parts are. So, you know, is there a spare part in your collection that would help you with this?
It so happens, in fact, that there is a particularly strong adhesive in there that was designed for plugging up holes in life support systems that might very well work if I were to attach a frag grenade to it.
Okay.
So
are you pulling this frag grenade out and we all see you just do this, I guess?
Well, you're not going to see me because I'm kind of in... am I inside a conduit here? Is there a hatch inside the conduit, or is the grill and the kind of hatch on the outside of it?
No, it's on the outside. It's right on the ceiling. There's like
We
this
would
this
see it
hatch.
then, yeah.
So I'm only
Hanging right
slightly...
there.
Yeah, so you should see me pulling the frag grenade
So I guess
out.
as you pull the frag grenade, I'm just like, whoa, 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 what are you doing up there, Kappa?
It would appear that we need to bypass this, and
I'm
last
still
time-
holding him up, right? Like I'm like this.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You
In
guys
fact,
notice that it's like a perfect fucking iron cross. Like there's not even no flinching here. There's no sweat. Not really saying much though.
So you're gonna blow this up? Isn't that gonna be an issue here? If would that not cause problems?
Well, maybe.
Are we going to be able to get through after this detonates?
Well, we're certainly not going to be getting through any other way. I don't know what these buttons do, and it's against the machine god's will to push random buttons without the proper 3-hour ritual preparation.
So you can't push them, but I can. Is that what you're
Fricks, can you do me a favor?
saying?
Oh, sorry, yes. You're talking to me. I was in deep thought about the Emperor. Sorry.
Yeah, it's about
Yes.
probably not the first time you were
Jax.
beating the Emperor on something, but you could reach into my front pocket. I have an EHO stick. If you could put that in my mouth and light it, I'd be much obliged.
That's a job actually for Eli.
What? Why is it a job for Eli?
Yeah,
Frick?
I give
What-
you a look, Fricks. I'm like,
why do you have a
why is
problem
that,
reaching
Fricks?
into Jax's pocket?
I don't want to reach into Jax's pocket. I don't know what I could find in there.
Which pocket is it?
Well,
Probably just an
to do
eco
it.
stick.
I don't trust Jeff.
Jax, which
Who's
pocket
Jeff?
is it?
It's a
Jax.
front left breastplate on there.
I kind of shake my head at Fricks and walk over and say, all right, I got it. Here you go.
Thank you.
I put it
Put
into
it
your
in
mouth.
his mouth, Eli.
I do. I put it into your mouth and be like, that wasn't hard.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Do you light it?
I turn around. You want this lit?
Yep.
All right. I light it.
So,
Eli, back to the point. It would be against all of the machine god's will to play with those buttons. You, quite frankly, do not have the technical expertise nor the necessary knowledge to push these buttons, and the ritual is required. But,
Now,
of course,
Engelbart.
if I happen to not be...
I like the
around
image of
and
this
I'll see
stupid
it.
tech priest held up in the air. He's just like, if we have the time, there is possibilities to remove the grate.
All I'm
Engelbart-
saying is that observing the proper rituals wouldn't be possible without a tech priest present.
Don't you have tech use, Engelbart?
Oh, yes. As it turns out, I do.
So you can figure this out? Is that what that means?
Not without the proper sacred unguents, and I don't have any.
Okay.
I refuse to press the buttons. I can't do it.
He's a
I don't know what it'll
principled man.
do. It's disrespectful to the buttons machine spirit. I can't do it.
All right, Jax. Why don't we send our friend Kappa here to just go do something, Kappa. Leave us alone for a couple minutes.
I guess I'll head back to the bar and try some of that subpar Amasak.
All right. Engelbart starts wandering off into the dimly lit darkness of this alley corridor.
Say, Fricks, you seem to be pretty useless so far. Why don't you go push those buttons?
I'll press your buttons.
No, those buttons, Fricks, not my buttons.
Exactly. Lift me up there.
All right. So he lifts you up, I guess.
How many buttons do I see?
There's 4 buttons on the left hand side of this panel and 1 large button on the right. While he's holding you up, a single drop of sweat rolls down Jax's forehead.
Signifying that you are heavier than the tech priest.
This is not true. I resent that.
Oh, God.
Do the 4 buttons have lights? Is
There
there
are
anything
no lights.
I notice about the buttons?
There have been a number of what look to be the surface of the buttons have been scraped off by like a file or something, so you can't actually. There's no indicating markers on these buttons at all.
Can I would like to just press one of the buttons to see what sort of response I get.
All right, you press the button and it clicks with like a mechanical action, and the hatch swings open.
Solve the riddle.
Good job, Fricks.
Is there any way I can look up here without endangering myself?
Say, Fricks, aren't you worried you've upset
Or am I
the
already
button
looking?
spirit?
Like when the hatch opened, did I see what is in it? Is it too dark? Can I?
Well, it's kind of this sort of thin space, maybe between levels of the hive or something like that. It's probably like 3 feet high, and it's really dark. It's like pitch black up there. But you can see around the inside of this hatch, which is probably like 3 feet across, a meter. You see like a fine dust of Samsonite stuck up here.
Okay. Do we have
We
any
need to
sort of
find someone who will fit up here.
Jackson, Eli? Do we have any sort of communication with Engelbart?
No, I could go get him. My only question is, who opened this hatch?
Well, we could just say that it accidentally opened, or just randomly opened, or we heard a noise on the other side. I don't think it matters as long as we get him and proceed forward.
Who opened the hatch? I just ask again.
Critical decisions.
You opened the hatch, Fricks?
I opened the hatch.
Perfect. I'm going to go get Mr. Cap. I'll be right back. So I head over
I
to the
lower
bar.
Fricks down to the ground.
Right.
So I head over to the bar and go up to Engelbart and say, hey, we got the hatch open. Fricks just went up there, pushed that button, it opened right up. So let's
I
go
spit
back.
my Amasak out in disgust.
But not the best? Not the best drink?
I am disgusted by your disrespect for the Omnisire.
I didn't press the button.
Who did then?
I told you Fricks did.
Bloody psychers.
I know. I don't trust her either.
Engelbart, is this what Eli did to insult the Omniscient?
Or at
Pressing
least-
buttons?
Yeah. Who knows?
I think it goes a little bit deeper than that.
All right.
What, did I finger the button? Or what are you trying to say here, TV?
Slowly caress the button.
Be like, anyways, we got to go back. I think Fricks is already working her way down.
All right, well, she'll never fit, so let's get on with it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So me and Mr. Cap will walk back.
Yeah, you head back. It takes you like 2 minutes to get back to the other guys. Jax and Fricks are just sort of hanging out under the button. By now, Jax's eho stick has burnt down to the stub.
I put it out
So-
on the ground, just like under my boot.
Is that just
Yeah.
a flare, by the way? Is this, to use common language, is that just a flare that Jeff was using?
Yeah, it's a cigarette.
Okay.
He wasn't smoking a flare, JP.
I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I didn't understand the term.
Biggest badass in the universe smoking flares. Yep.
Maybe he
shit.
does. Maybe
It's
he
that
does.
phosphorus.
Anyways, so we approach. I say, Fricks, how's it going up there?
Are we ready? It's open. There's a little bit of Samsonite here. The trail continues. It seems silly for us to stop now.
My only concern is if you work your way down there, you're going to be alone. So are we
Well,
supposed to follow?
that's fine. You're going first.
I kind of look up at the thing, and how big is it up there?
It looks pretty tight. Like it's like 3 feet across this hole, and like 3 feet high is the ceiling here. It's like pitch black. Like who knows what could be up there, man?
I'm pretty much the only one that's going to fit through this, aren't I?
People could squeeze, but it'd be a little claustrophobic.
Well, TB would
Wonderful.
be at home, right? Yeah.
I'll feel right at home. Anything that gets me away from you clowns.
If I,
Didn't Fricks also sort of just like hide in various tight spaces in her time on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Space Hulk?
That
Yeah,
was
but-
before the donuts.
If Engelbart says that he'd like to go, then
Steve, if I look at the wherever this hole went into, do I see it going to any particular structure or any house or anything like that, or does it just go on the roof? for as long
Well,
as
it's
I
not
can
the
see?
roof. Like you're down in the middle of the hive, which stretches like 6 miles into the sky, right? And like you're probably at about the level of pollution at the outside air. So on certain nights, even tonight, actually, the northwestern windows glowed red with the sun setting through the pollution, but under the clouds and over the pollution hanging over the surface of Samson 4. So yeah, like this is obviously sort of a bulkhead between levels, and
Some kind of maintenance corridor.
I guess you're poking your head up there. Maybe Jax is lifting you again. Are you still good for that, Jax?
Oh yeah.
All right. Jax
All right.
Jax hoists Eli up, and you take a look around, and like the only thing you can see is sort of off to your right and slightly behind you. There's like a very faint glimmer of light coming from the ceiling of this tiny space.
All right. So I guess I'd turn around to the party and ask, well, we can either follow this thing through here. It's going to be a tight fit for me and Jax. Or we could try to see if this leads to any particular structure or housing and go into there. What do you guys want to do?
I'll follow your guys' lead.
I'll go last so that I can push them through.
Have we determined whether or not this is a maintenance shaft, or is it something else entirely that we're not 100% aware of?
It could be used for maintenance, yeah, definitely, but you're not certain that it is a maintenance shaft. Like, it seems almost like an intentionally built crawl space between the housing level for House Ophaly and whatever is above.
That would explain the security system. That probably also means that there's more security within the actual shaft itself. So I think Frick should go first.
I see we have a disagreement here. How are we going to settle this?
It's great. You can try to charm me if you'd like, but I'm going last.
I look at
Are you
Jackson.
worried about pressing more buttons,
Steven, can I fit in there?
Engelbart?
Yeah, you can fit up.
I just start to go forward then.
All right. Are you just like climbing up over somebody else?
Yeah.
Standing on Frix's head.
All right. Yeah, well, Jax gets tired of waiting. He sort of like, climbs up somebody and then pulls himself up into the space. You also see like a little bit to the right and behind you this glimmer of light.
All right. I'm just gonna grab the next person and hoist him up behind me. I guess whoever's.
Yeah, might as well grab me then. I'll follow you in.
All right.
So grab Eaglebart.
I guess
Grab
I'm
one of
going
his
thirds because Fricks is
Mechanicus
last.
implants and hoist him up.
All right, so then I go third and Fricks is last.
Let's see. So that's Jax, and then Engel, and then Eli and Fricks. Letting the Psyker have her way. Dangerous precedent to set. All right, yeah. You start crawling through this crawl space, and it's tight, and like the dust is tickling your nose, and it's kind of hot. Like obviously just not climate controlled in here at all. And you crawl towards this little glimmer of light, and would everybody give me an awareness check, please?
Sure.
That's a 1d100.
Whoops. Oh, Fricks again.
Awesome.
38.
We're all looking pretty good.
Yeah,
boss.
we're all looking good.
Awesome. Well, all of you, all of a sudden, you hear sort of a stomping from the floor above you, and any of you that have any metal on you, you feel it sort of pulling upwards towards the ceiling as you're crawling, as this stomping grows louder and then begins fading
As soon
away.
as this happens, I'm like, Mr. Kappa, what's going on here? What's happening?
Well, it would appear that there's some kind of large magnetic field immediately above us.
Are we in any danger from this? Can we keep going?
I would suggest that we do. The last thing we want to do is go any closer to that, especially in such a confined space. We might end up being squished.
Sounds good. Let's hurry it along here. I don't want to stick around.
So press
All right,
on.
you shuffle forwards and you reach this shaft of dimly gray light that's bleeding through. And it looks like there's sort of a grate that's above you. And if you look up, you see like you see you're in the corner of a plushly carpeted and well lit hallway. And it looks like you're underneath some sort of noble quarters. And as you look out, you hear another stomping, and you see a servitor walking by. He's sort of like robed in black robes, and like his skin is sallow and pale and sunk into his face, and he's carrying on his back a massive cask that looks like it's really heavy. And as he walks past you, you feel all the metal on your body sort of pull in its direction.
I stumble in its general direction because I have more metal in me than anything else.
Is Jax the only one that sees this, or do we all see this? Because he's at the front.
Jax is the only one who sees it because he's looking up through the grate in the
So
front.
looking up through the grate, does it walk past the grate?
Yeah, it probably passes like 8 feet away, and you can hear it stomping over the crawl space that you were just crawling through.
Does the grate look like it is removable?
It looks like it could be removed by force. But let's take a quick break for 3 minutes and find out what happens when we come back.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys in 3. More Roleplay Dark Heresy coming up after this.